Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Just getting nice and comfy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is quite lovely indeed. It's quite splendid, if you ask me. I'm coming to you in my car park basement because I can't be bothered getting out of my car. But I do have my camera on me. And if you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to try and talk into my phone and then hopefully upload the audio onto this video if I post it. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I don't know. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done many talking videos before and I feel like I've definitely... Also, this is my lafufu. I thought it was a labubu, but I got done over. It's actually a lafufu. So I don't know if that's kind of annoying in the frame. You know what? I'm actually just gonna get her to exit the building. She's doing a bit too much over here. This is my unprofessional advice. Although I am not a professional therapist and I do not have the tools to probably be super experienced in this, but what I do have is some experience, and what I do have is I have been and I currently am in this situation right now that you may be feeling, and that's probably why you clicked on this video, and that is being in a little rut. Are you in a little rut, Darby? It's okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be all Gucci. But I don't know, I just wanted to have a little chit chat about it. I feel like for some reason when I'm going through a rut and when I'm going through just a weird time in my life, what I like to do is I like to watch a YouTube video and listen to someone else going through it and hear their perspective and what they're doing to like slap themselves out of it. And it kind of helps. I find personally why I get myself into a rut is honestly this thing. I feel, I believe, and I know, and I notice a pattern when I feel myself slowly slipping away from like this happier version, and it's when my screen time is really high. I was very conscious of I feel like I'm very in touch with my emotions, and I know when something's wrong, and I feel like sometimes we always know when something's wrong and we're not feeling ourselves, and we tend to just put things past us because, you know, what I notice is that there is a pattern in times when I can feel myself slipping into this rut. It's almost like a self-sabotage because I don't know if this is something to do with being super disciplined and being really like, I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, like I'm super perfecto, because that's not the case at all. But at the same time, it's like if you're a very high achiever and you have a lot of discipline, you are very hard on yourself, you know, even when you just sort of start to have these feelings of feeling a bit of a rut coming, you sort of push it past. Like I just, I carry it in a little handbag with me, but I don't let it dictate my entire day. I still push past with what it is that I need to do. And I will do that for a long time while still carrying this little dark emotion with me in my little handbag, because in my head, it's like, I don't got the time for you right now. We'll deal with you later. And then later comes and it's like, fuck. Get back in the handbag. Anyways, I think that one of the reasons why we might fall into this rut is because I sometimes feel like there's this constant pressure when you're an adult compared to when you're, a child or even 16 and stuff. Because when you're an adult and you have a hard day, it's like shit must go on. Like, we got bills to pay, bitch. I'm trying to get my body looking like tea. Like I have goals to achieve. I have a business to run. I have responsibilities. When you're an adult, I feel like there's just this constant battle of being in a rut and feeling like you have your life together. I just feel like there's no sweet spot. It's either I've got my shit together. I don't know. Anyways, I think when you get into a rut, one of the things that's important to do is to consciously have a conversation with yourself and realize like what led you here. you know, because I think that there's a pattern. And for me, that pattern is scrolling through social media, spending too much time on my phone, because your phone is so toxic, especially when you wake up and you're watching these 7-second videos all the way. And then when you go to bed, that's when I find that my head is so bad. It is like all this negativity, comparison. Comparison is also a thief of joy, by the way. You know, you're just constantly looking at other people's lives when in reality, all of that's fake and that doesn't matter. What truly matters is your current present reality, like the 5D dimension. When you're looking at your phone, you're just looking at this 2D dimension that's not real. You don't really know what someone's going through. You might look at someone's life, someone's body, someone's, you know, aesthetics, and you think, God, like I wish I had their life. But that's just the 2D dimension. You don't actually know what they've had to do to get there. You don't actually know what they're going through. Like, you just don't know. The only thing you do know is the 5D reality in which you're currently living in this reality here, not from this 2D device. Like, it's just, I feel like we have the tendency to get in our heads sometimes when we spend so much time on social media, because social media, and I know this is so cliche for everyone to say. Also, I'm so comfy right now. I put the car heater on. I wish someone could sit here with me and we could just hang out. Anyways, as I was saying, God, that light is so annoying. It keeps on focusing and unfocusing. I'm really sorry about that. But social media is really toxic. It really is. And I feel like another thing with social media, there's a lot of pressure. You know, there's a lot of pressure to look a certain way online, to be super positive and super la 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 la. And it's like, fuck me. Can we all just like take a breather? I don't know. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm so sick of my phone. I'm so sick of social media. But at the same time, I like a little scrolly, a little brain rot, you know what I mean? But I found that when I'm feeling my absolute worst, my screen time is high, my step count is low. The times where I felt the best is when that's a 360. My step count, when the step count is high and the screen time is low, the emotions feel great, you know? And also just like getting enough sunlight. Also, guys, I don't even know if this is going to be any good advice, but I just feel like when I'm going through a hard time, just listening to someone yap and talk about their experience and what they're doing to help and how they've gotten out of it, and, you know, it just makes you feel a sense of a delightful feeling. It's a sense of it's going to be okay. I think when it comes to our state of emotion, something that I've learned is that you cannot live in happiness and sadness at the same time. And sometimes that's just how life is. You're either sad or you're either happy. But right now, if you're feeling sad, just know that it's temporary and it will eventually flip to being happy. And, you know, when you're happy again, you're probably going to feel sad. And like, that's just the reality sometimes. And I think the important thing is being aware and also just knowing what is it that has brought you here. For me, I really feel like social media and sometimes just saying yes when you should really just be saying no. I used to have a hard time being such a people pleaser where I needed to make sure everyone around me was okay, and I feel like I'm always pouring. And even when times my little teacup is empty, for the people I love and I care about, I'll always give my last drop, you know, for people I love and care. But it comes to a point where for you to give your best self to someone and the people around you that you love and care about, you truly need to sometimes make sure your cup is full and say no. Someone, you know, your friend or your partner, your family member or something messages you and says, hey, do you want to come to this party, or do you want to come and do this, you know, go and, I don't know, do something. Go visit these people. I don't know. And it's like you're already at a point where you're not feeling good. But if you force yourself to say yes to those plans, are you really doing the people you love around you any better by spending that time with them when you know you're not going to be your best self? You know you're not going to be, you know, a positive light to bring. So I just think that sometimes you need to say no. Saying no to other people is like saying yes to yourself. And when you say yes too much to other people when you're going through a hard time, what you're really saying is no to yourself. You're saying, I don't care about my emotions. And this is not in a selfish way. This is actually in a selfless way, because I truly feel like I don't want to be around people when I'm like this. especially people I love and care about, when everything looks so negative, I don't want to be a negative person. I don't want to bring people down. I don't want people to feel bad for me. I want to come to the table as this aura and orbit of light and happiness, which is who I truly am. And we can all be happy together, you know? So I think it's okay to say no to plans and to cancel things when you're just not feeling yourself. And I think sometimes we have the pressure to maintain relationships with friends, with family, and, you know, with the people we care about because we feel like we need to say yes all the time. But in reality, like, the people that are meant to be in your life, they'll understand that you need you time and you'll come when you're ready. And I think sometimes when we can get into a rut is when we're just saying yes. Sometimes we just need to say no if we don't want to do it. And that's okay. That's not being a bad person. That's just trying to make yourself a better person so that you can be the best person and bring value and bring happiness and peace, love, and joy. Anyways, also another thing that I find is that a lot of us, or I feel like sometimes we have the tendency to base our happiness and put our cup of happiness, we put our happiness in the hands of how we look or how, you know, our career is, which is such a dangerous thing to do because both things fluctuate, you know. And another thing with social media is, you know, what you see online, it's always about, you know, beauty, your appearance, self-care, you know, being fit and healthy, being successful. So a lot of us, I feel like we base our happiness off of how we look and how successful we are, which is just, fuck me. Like, can we just catch a break? What a horrible thing to put your happiness into, you know, because it's not sustainable and it's not safe. Place that's always changing and it's forever evolving. I feel like I'm constantly grieving a past version and a past life of myself. Like, I'm constantly going to the funeral of myself, of a past version that died. And it's like basing your happiness, your joy around your career or your looks is just so dangerous and it's just not realistic because that's always going to change. And I think what we need to do is we need to start basing our happiness and joy of within, you know, of the now. Think about how happy dogs are. Dogs are so happy because all they care about is the now. I saw this quote and it said that there is a future version of yourself that is literally begging you, like fucking grasping you to just enjoy the now. There is just this future version of you that is just begging you, like, please can you just enjoy right now? Like, why do you have to be so sad right now? Life is so short. Can you just pull it together? Get yourself together. And I think the same goes with a past version of yourself. This is awkward. There's like probably my neighbors here and I'm just looking homeless in my car. Anyways, the show must go on. Fuck what people think. And I think the same goes with a past version. There's also a past version of yourself begging you to enjoy right now because they were once begging for the life that you're living right now. And I think it's fair to say that this is true for majority of people. If I look at a time in my life from a year ago, the life that I'm living right now it's kind of like my dream, you know? And I think that we need to sometimes pause and smell the roses and realize that, yeah, there's a version of you in the future or in the past that's just begging you to just fucking be happy right now. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I almost get sick of myself. Like, I get annoyed at myself, you know, for being in a rut and feel guilty for being sad, which you shouldn't feel guilty for being sad. You're allowed to. But when it drags on a bit, it's like, come on, girl, like, get it together. You've got so many things to be grateful for. For God's sake, I can walk, I can breathe, I have freedom, I can wake up today. I have people that love me, that care about me. I am in great health. There's just so many things that, you know, there's a version of you just begging you to just enjoy life right now. Because life is just so short and not a lot of things are promised. And a lot of people are probably looking at your life like, oh my God, like, I wish I was healthy. I wish I could walk. I wish I could talk. I wish I could see. There's so many things. I know that sounds like Steve Harvey and so cliche, but sometimes we really need to realize that we need to slap ourselves in the face and just be fucking happy with what we have right now. I also find a pattern when I'm feeling my happiness, and that is when I do things that I say I'm gonna do and I actually do them. I find that there's times when I fall into a rut, and that's when I make this to-do list and I set things so high that I don't end up doing them all. Because sometimes, like, I think we can set things so high, and I think I read in a book somewhere, and you know, this is when I was really in my hustle grind, and it's like, set a goal higher than what you want so that if you land for it, you land short of it. But the reality is, it's like when you set goals that are so unrealistic, and don't get me wrong, I believe there's anything that you want in this life, you can truly have it. If someone's had it before, you can have it. You really create your own reality. You can achieve anything you want right now. But I think when we set goals too high and have these extreme expectations for ourselves in such a short time span, and when you don't achieve that, it's going to be bad for your confidence. So I think the best thing to do is to have goals, but be realistic with the time frame of them, so that when you do it, you become more confident and then you want to push more. Because when you set a goal that's just too fucking like, I'm going to lose 5 kilos in a week. Come on, girl. Be so fucking for real right now. Bitch, be for real. Anyways, you know what I mean? Just confidence and happiness sometimes comes from just solving problems. Is that an adult thing? It's like, when I have a problem and I solve it, fuck you. Fuck everyone. I am that bitch. Anyways, I feel like when I have a problem and I solve it, I genuinely feel like you can't fuck with me. Like, I don't know. It's this boost of confidence because, you know, you push yourself to do some hard shit. And I think that there's a pattern when I'm feeling my best, and it's when I do what I say I'm going to do and I do it no matter how I feel. You know, I have this quote that I tell myself when I'm going through a hard time, and it's that just do it. I know this sounds so Pinteresty and it's probably not that inspiring, but just do it, like Nike. Just do it. You just put your back into it. Anyways, girl, what am I saying? I need to stretch. Just do it even when you don't feel like it. Because, you know, there's two options when you're having a bad day or, you know, going through a rut. What's going to make you feel better? Not doing anything or just doing something. Because I find when I have this whole list of things that I need to do and responsibilities, and I'm having a time, you know, like this, when I'm feeling like I don't want to do it, I just tell myself, I'll do something where I'll just lay in bed and I try to make it fun. Like, I'll make myself a matcha, I'll make myself a coffee or a little tea, make a little snack board, and I lay in bed in like some comfy clothes, and I just do what I need to do through the tasks. I think sometimes when we have this big of list of things to do, we freak out and we're like, oh, I don't want to do this, because you feel like there's a pressure of a rush, like a time. But just take the time frame off, you know, just tell yourself that you're going to do it, but you can just do it slowly. You know, you can just do it ever so slowly. You don't need to rush. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like that really helps me when I have a lot of things to do. I just tell myself to do it slowly. I don't know if this video is going to help. And like I said, I'm not a professional, but sometimes I feel like listening to someone yap when they're going through it and just playing this, you know, while you're in your car, playing this while you're getting ready. It really helps. Like, for example, this morning I woke up. I've been feeling like I've been in a rut, and every morning I wake up, like every night I go to bed, it's almost like I get excited because it's like, okay, tomorrow is a new day. And then I wake up and I still feel shit. Anyways, I would literally, like, today my morning routine was to wake up, I washed my face, I looked in the mirror, and I cried the whole time doing my makeup. I cried the whole way to gym. I called my friend and I cried some more. I went to gym and I really didn't want to. I sat in my car for like half an hour, and then I went in and I just did 30 minutes, but it's fine because you know what? I think that it's so important to be kind to ourselves in times like this, but to also have a line between trying to do the best you can. And if the best you can do is to get up out of bed and have a shower and just do one task, that's okay. But something that's going to make you feel better is to be also firm with yourself. I think when you're really in touch with yourself, God. I touch myself, I don't need... Being in tune with your emotions and being aware of knowing the difference between, all right, am I actually in a rut right now? Do I really need to take a step back from work and routine? Or am I just being lazy? I feel like when you are in touch with yourself, you know how to identify the two. And it's really important to know when to identify the two, especially when you want to, do things and accomplish things and go after your goals, which will make you feel good. Sometimes you need to really have a talk with yourself and say, okay, are you really in a rut right now, or are you just being lazy? Really think about it. And if you are really in a rut and it's genuinely so hard to do, then you need to be more kind to yourself. There's different levels in ways that you need to speak to yourself in different moments. Obviously you talk to yourself a lot more softer and kinder when you're going through it. But there's also times where you need to be firm and say, look, it's going to be hard, but if you do this one thing, you're going to feel good. One thing that I've been healing with myself currently is my relationship with food. I used to be not a lot of people know this, but I used to be really chunky. I used to be a chunky girl. I had a horrible relationship with food. I was so overweight and unhappy with myself. I think this is when I was in my 20s or something. But I would go for food for comfort, and I would just eat. I would be in pain and I would just keep eating. One of the things that I have been dealing with while going through a rut is trying not to emotional eat, because it's that's when I need to be firm with myself and say, this is not going to make you feel good. How are you going to feel 10 minutes from now after all the food is done, after you've eaten that burger and chips and the ice cream and the cake and how are you truly going to feel? And that's when you have to be firm with yourself, as a form of self-respect, because when we're going through a hard time, and I know it's you got to be kind to yourself, but knowing when being kind and also being firm. Because if I was too kind to myself during this time and I say, it's okay, go consume 10,000 calories and have that alcohol and, you deserve it. And I just go crazy and I don't have any self-control or moderation. Fuck me. The next day, I'm going to feel so much worse. This is when you need to be firm and say, look, I know you're going through a hard time right now, but you still need to have respect for yourself and take care of yourself. If you want a little cheeky little meal, have it, but don't go overboard. Don't drink an entire bottle of wine because you're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel good. So what's going to feel better? That small bit of satisfaction to numb your emotions for a small period of time, or to feel that guilt and pain and shame after. That's when you sometimes need to be a bit firm with yourself. Honestly, I'm still figuring it out and I'm still not in the best headspace right now, but I know it's going to be okay. And I know it's not the end of the world, but sometimes in the moment, I just feel so uncomfortable. Yesterday, I cleaned my room. I did my laundry. Today, I didn't go to gym or work out yesterday, and I normally train every day, but I gave myself the day off. I gave myself grace. But today I worked out. And that's all I've really done today. And it's 1 p.m. I could sit here and be you need to do all this and this. But today was better than yesterday. And I'm happy about that. And that makes me feel better than otherwise bullying myself into you could have done better. It's girl, come on. It's not that fucking serious. God damn. I feel I'm so sick sometimes of myself for being too serious. Let me just live. Let me just chill. Let it all work out. I really hope that I'm giving some sort of value in this video. I don't even know if I'll post this because this is just not like me as well to post this. My content is very bright and happy, and that's how I like to be for people that I love and care about. I love to be a little ray of sunlight, and I feel my whole life I've always been told that I'm such a happy and positive person, but sometimes it's I'm only human. And it's sometimes I think we have a pressure to always, be this happy version of ourselves and look that way to other people. But Jesus, give me a break. Let a girl breathe and let a girl grieve. Also, another thing that I noticed that has such an immaculate impact on when I notice myself slipping into a bit of a dark mindset is being consciously aware of just what you're fueling your mind with, but everything, not just social media, YouTube videos, even music. Oh my God, music is such a beautiful experience, but at the same time, music is a little bit, you're still feeding your mind with sounds and rap and lyrics and, certain lyrics. You might not notice, but even sometimes music can really affect your mood. I don't know about you. If I put on a certain song, I really feel it so deeply in my soul. And I find sometimes that when I'm going through music that I used to listen to back when I was in harder times and I start listening to it currently, because the thing is, like, I just like that music. I sometimes just like that music, but I'm not feeling sad. But then it's slowly, like subconsciously, I start to slip into this like sad feelings. So we have to be really impeccable with what we're feeding our mind, because, you know, our mind determines everything in our life. Our actions that we take and our actions determine our entire reality. So it all comes down to like how you're feeding and fueling your mind, what information you're giving into it. It's all so important. Even the people around you. Sometimes you need to pause and be like, are the people around me positive or are they negative? Are they truly, you know, good people or are they not? Because who you surround yourself with really matters a lot. And I truly believe that, because I've been in situations where I have been around some negative people and eventually it bleeds onto you. You know, it really does. And like, that's one of the quotes I love from the 48 Laws of Power. And it's avoid the unlucky and the unhappy, because it really is one of these important keys to living, you know, fulfilling life, and that is to, God, this camera is doing the most right now. It will bleed onto you. And the same thing goes with happy and positive people. That will also bleed onto you in a beautiful way. So that's why I come back to the point of like, sometimes we need to say no, because you need to take care of yourself in order to show up the best for the people around you. Because there's been times where I'm just not feeling myself, but I've said yes out of guilt. And then I've showed up to the function. Where the fuck the function? And it's like, I have no personality. I have no excitement. I'm like, I'm not laughing. Nothing's funny. Nothing's fucking funny. And it's like, boring. Why did I shouldn't have came. You know, I'm not giving my best self. These people deserve to see me at my best self. They don't deserve me here being like negative. And a form of self-love and selflessness, especially for those around you, is making sure you're good. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to end this video soon. I need to go get some caffeine and try and push through my day. I just want you to know that it's going to be okay. And I know I'm just some random chick on the internet just yapping away. But I think that you're either living in like power or force, and your power will come back. It will come back. Hey, come back here. That's the thing. Like I said, life is just all about self-discovery. You're constantly learning, discovering patterns of when you feel happy, when you feel sad. And I think it's also important that if there's a task that you don't want to do, try and make it as fun and enjoyable and happy as possible. You know, go to a cafe if you work from home and like get yourself, you know, buy yourself a treat. Sometimes you really need to buy yourself something to start feeling good. This is not permission to go spend, you know, drop $1,000 right now on something, but this is a little bit of permission to buy yourself a little sweet treat, and then, you know, do the thing. Because sometimes you need like a little dopamine hit when you're really going through a hard time. Like, that's why sometimes it's like, you know, when you need to do some hard shit, you need to give yourself a little bit of grace, a coffee, a sweet treat, a little something, and then it pushes you more to do the task that seems so hard and unreachable. Anyways, I felt like this is such a vulnerable thing for me to record right now, because like, my channel is not like this, but at the same time, this is my channel. This is who I am, and I just want to be so real on here, and I want people to see my content and feel like inspired and motivated and like love my cute little videos and cafes and romanticizing life, because I think that's really important, is to romanticize life. And that's why like a lot of the content I post is just romanticize your fucking life. But you know, there's going to come a point where a video like this might drop, and, you know, I might say some things, people might hate it, people might not even get value from this, but this is my channel, and I just want to post what I want to post, and I hope that's okay. I feel so unserious right now. Probably talking to like 2 viewers. Wow. Did I make this video for you, or did I make this for me? Because why do I feel better expressing expressing myself. It's such a weird feeling. I feel like I'm such a person as well that doesn't like to talk about my feelings to other people because I don't know how to express myself. I'm really bad with like showing my emotions. It's like I know how to speak up for myself, but I really struggle with trying to put it into words, trying to get my brain into words. And for some reason, this video has helped me. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to end this here. I don't know if I have much else to give right now. I feel like I've just blabbered on, but I really hope that if you're watching this video, this has helped you and inspired you, and maybe it's, you know, maybe I've said something that's triggered something in your brain. Maybe a light bulb has lit up for you and you're feeling a little sense of relief, or, you know, seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, because if I can make you feel that way, then I feel happy. I feel, you know, if I've been able to give like some sense of relief, then that makes me feel like I've done, you know, something good here. And that's what's I really want to do, is like see what ways that I can contribute to, you know, the world and make someone else feel a bit better. Because I know there was a time where I'm going through something like this and I've watched a video and someone says something and it sparked in my mind, and it was like the information I needed to hear to just slap myself out of it. Sometimes you really just gotta pull yourself out of it, pull yourself together and slap yourself out of it and hear a quote, and it just is that one thing that you need to hear and it just changes everything. So just remember, there's a version of you right now begging you to literally just fucking be grateful right now. Just enjoy right now. Anyways, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'm gonna go to Starbucks, and that concludes this video. I don't even know if I'll post this. Also, I feel so ugly right now. Like, I need to get all my maintenance done as well. And I think that's another thing why I'm feeling so bad. It's like I don't have my lashes done. I don't have my brows done. I don't have my nails done. My acne, which you probably can't see, is really bad right now. So I think tomorrow is going to be a self-care day for me. Anyways, I love y'all. And stay sexy. Stay hot. Bomba clacked. Oh. I love you. Bye. Mwah.